To Business Connections. I'm Holly Allen, Director of Marketing and Communications with the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. If this is your first time joining us, Business Connections is a program produced by the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. As always, we are committed to helping business, and we're excited to announce that there is a new way we are doing that. At the start, January 2015, we introduced the Dayton Area Logistics Association. So today, that is our topic. And joining me now is Amanda Byers. She is Manager of Public Policy Programming with the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce, and Ashley von Derau, who is the President of Rush Expediting. You're already involved in the Dayton Area Logistics Association. I want to thank you both for being with me today. Amanda, let's start by talking about Dayton Area Logistics Association. We're calling it DALA for short. What is it? Can you start by explaining what it is?
Yeah, well, as you said, we started in January 2015, so it's a brand new program to the Chamber. And what it is a private sector organization that we've connected with the Chamber that will combine all of those distribution centers, anything logistics related, the transportation side. We're going to bring everything together, and then we want to focus to connect those businesses so that they can grow and meet their needs that they have within and stay within the region with all of that, keeping it local basically.
Because this is an industry we've identified is really growing in the
Right. You know, with where we're located, with I-70, 75, we are at the center of everything. So it's going to be moving through here. So it is totally natural for it to be occurring here and us making those connections. Having organizations like Rush here locally, we're able to make those connections. It's a great opportunity for us, and what we want to do is just move business forward and get all those transportation needs taken care of.
Is that why the decision was made to launch that this year?
Exactly. It's been an ongoing issue that we've been involved in through the Chamber. We just want to be there to meet the business needs. Obviously, that's what the Chamber is there for. So making those connections and getting that taken care of is definitely where we want to stand on that. So there was a need for it, for companies to be able to come together. Mm-hmm. And so we just found it fitting that we would take that on and begin that DALA association, get everything going and make the connections.
And one of the things I think that the Chamber has always done with programs such as this is lean on the business community, and that's where you come into play, Ashley, with Rush Expediting. You've already gotten involved, but let's start by just telling people, what is Rush? How long have you been in the community? Tell us what you're about.
Sure. Rush Expediting has been part of Dayton for 34 years. Wow. We are locally owned and operated. I'm very proud of that. We are at the crossroads of America here at 70 and 75. So this location for us, it will always be a part of Rush. So we have expanded to outside of this region to Dayton, Cincinnati, and Columbus. Terminals in all three cities. We have about 200 drivers on the road now. We have everything from a car to a tractor trailer. So for our customers, we really want to be that one-stop shop and handle 1 ounce to 45,000 pounds for them. So we're proud to be an employer in this area and serving the Midwest region and more specifically the Dayton area.
So for someone who's not familiar with the logistics industry, let's say they see one of your trucks on the road, what might you be hauling?
Oh, great question. Every truck is going to be different. That's the beauty of this business. It doesn't matter if a lawyer needs an envelope taken from downtown or if an automotive company up north may need parts delivered to their manufacturer. So we could be delivering anything within the healthcare industry, manufacturing, automotive, retail. That all is right here within this region. So we're excited that we can be so diversified and handle that.
So you've gotten involved in DALA, as we're calling it. Tell me about your involvement so far.
Sure. So Rush, and specifically myself, are a part of the steering committee for DALA. We're very excited that the Chamber has put such a focus and an initiative together that would bring focus to the transportation and logistics industry. We obviously have felt for 34 years that this was the place to be for it. So to have that combined vision for it is very exciting for us. We think that DALA is going to bring together like organizations of ours within this industry and this region to help promote growth and advocacy for our industry.
And you have had a steering committee meeting so far already?
We have. So we have about 10 members, I believe, and on the steering committee that are going to help drive the focus of this organization. And they were all very excited, and I know that share some of my same thoughts and opinions on the organization.
So we talked about the growth, the immense growth in the Dayton area in this industry. Tell us about what are some of the biggest challenges. I'm sure there are some growing pains and some things that you're facing in the industry. Tell us about that.
Sure, and I think many of the organizations, whether they be a manufacturer and rely on the supply chain or a transportation company like myself, one of our biggest challenges right now is the workforce. So there is a very large driver shortage in this region and quite honestly across the country as well. So companies are starting to look outside of the normal means of hiring. Ourselves, we are attending veteran career fairs, trying to pull from different avenues. We are relying heavily on referrals from other drivers, trying to be kind of a leader within our organization or our industry per se, and bringing together people that have an interest in this industry. So we are obviously also using traditional means online for recruiting and things, but across the supply chain, transportation, and logistics industry, workforce development would by far be the largest challenge currently.
Why is that?
Some would say the ease of getting into the industry. Obviously, if you're driving a larger truck on the road, you have to have a special license for that. So there are some barriers there possibly. We're certainly hoping to help overcome those with new training programs and things, of which we're reaching out to local organizations to help with that. So that is one. And then quite honestly, I don't think that truck driving or transportation is quite as interesting of a job, people may say, as it used to be. But I can promise that there's money to be made in this industry, and there is a need. And so if someone's at home looking for a job, you can guarantee that any transportation company would be happy to hire them.
That is good news.
Yes.
In an area where people are looking for those job openings. Yes. When we talk about those issues, workforce is one of those that we just pointed out. Amanda, what sort of role does the Dayton Area Logistics Association hope to play in helping the industry overcome some of those issues?
Right, and as Ashley said, the steering committee is going to help bring us what those needs are, is part of why we've created that. To let us know what they see out there in industry to bring in. And so our goals as DALA is to find out what those are and then do whatever it takes to help build the driver, basically overall quantity that you guys obviously have a need for. So we're looking at, what higher ed locations we can work with to get those trainings done so that they're ready to go to Ashley right away, maybe after they go through some training and things like that. And so collecting those people and getting them trained, obviously I've heard it over and over again, driver shortage. So we want to work to get those drivers educated so that we can get them in their door as quickly as possible. So we're just working with some of those higher ed locations and looking to see what we can do and maybe creating training centers and things like that. It's, wild dreams as to what we could dream up, and that's where I think the steering committee is really going to be a big factor in everything that we're doing with the DALA to get everything on board.
I can imagine, I would guess, that creating that voice, that unified voice, would be a huge help in something like workforce, where you're looking for drivers, just to get the word out that there are openings there, that
right.
People are really needed in this industry. It might not be something that the general public's aware of.
Right, just continuously, it's not just Ashley that I've heard it from. It's all around any of the transportation side of needing drivers and things. That's what we hear over and over again in these meetings when we're out meeting with our members and them letting us know what they need. So that's what we want to do.
Yeah, and of course being able to partner
right.
with other organizations is something.
Right, yeah, obviously it takes money to do all that stuff.
Right.
So doing it jointly is gonna not put everything in one person's hands, and so we've definitely gonna look to see who we can join with to be able to maybe get into some training centers and get that started to be able to get those drivers to them or whatever other trainings are needed for our other members out there.
It's good to know. You have a fighter in your court on your side.
We appreciate it.
So how are these, we talked about the steering committee, these drives to accomplish things in the industry. How is the initiatives being chosen and then deciding how to move ahead? Is the steering committee the main force behind this?
So we are charting the growth of this organization. You know, it is in its infancy stages at this point, but we have a vision for where we want this to go and to help drive this industry within the Dayton region. We feel strongly about that. So we are looking at different things. We're an advocacy group. We are economic development, but we're networking as well. We're bringing like-minded companies together that have a mutual interest in this industry that can all contribute in some way and really partner together. We're not on either side of the fence. We're together on the same side in this industry.
And I'm sure that you have competitors that will be involved. So this is really a unified front, it sounds like.
Right, and we're all facing those same challenges together, so we might as well at this point get together and have a direction to go and help the supply chain, because without the drivers, without the workforce, we're going to be falling behind, and this region's too great and has too much going for it with the additional manufacturers that have moved into the area to take a step back at this point.
Mm-hmm. Amanda, how important is it, would you say, to have businesses like Rush Expediting involved in this organization?
When we selected our steering committee, we wanted to keep it small enough that we don't get out of control and don't cause too much or expect too much, because as Ashley said, we're just getting started. It's a lot to start a new organization. As we've seen with the marketing, is getting all that going is tough. But what the steering committee is going to do, and all those different, we've got all different kinds of businesses serving on that committee to let us know what their ideas are and share those to move them forward. Is where we're at right now. Down the road, we'll see kind of the direction that it goes and go from there and bring in who we need as everything comes together and starts this great organization and association.
So would you say that truly the direction of the organization is coming from the involvement of the businesses?
Right. It's, us as staff, we don't want to, we're not out there in the industry. I mean, we're on a member side hearing what they're saying, but we need the steering committee to be able to tell us, we want to do this event to be able to educate the people on this side, or just ideas like that we want them to bring to the table. Obviously, we'll do, legwork behind it. That's what we're here for, but we don't know everything. They're in it every day. It's not my everyday job, so they're the ones that are going to share with us what their needs are, and then we can help execute getting everything taken care of and moving forward.
One of those issues that you'll be tackling will be public policy, because I don't know if everyone knows, but the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce actually is pretty involved in public policy overall, and this would be in the business community throughout the region. We have 2 lobbyists on staff who are working hard at public policy issues statewide and nationwide every day. What issues in public policy, Ashley, do you see playing a role in the logistics and distribution industry in the Dayton region that maybe it might be something down the road DALA will want to tackle?
Certainly, there's legislature out there right now that is impacting our industry. For instance, tolling at the Brent Spence Bridge in Cincinnati. That's going through, and they're in discussion right now on how that's going to impact everyday drivers on the road, not just a specific transportation company, as well as a gas tax that is being voted on as we speak. And so that would have a major impact on our community, as well as infrastructure investments that are going on. The roads, you hear it every day that right here in Dayton, there's so much construction going on, but in order to grow and to support this industry, we do need some investment into that. So there's definitely a balance to be given. So there's also, specific to the industry of transportation, is an independent contractor classification. So that is some of the main points that we're looking at right now, but we're following those closely, and this steering committee will be following those and advocating on our behalf and on the behalf of the members of the DALA organization.
Amanda, did you want to speak on some of those public policy issues?
Yeah, I am not one of the lobbyists on staff, but we have staff that's out there daily working to speak with government faces, and up there in Columbus and even in DC, working to get what we need from them for the support to get those things taken care of. It's constantly an aggressive battle going on. You know, we're pro logistics, and we want to let them know we're here for that. We're not going anywhere. We've got goals, you know, down the road that we want taken care of. So that's just a big focus, especially right now with DALA starting up and everything. It's a big driving factor for us right now.
Right. Ashley, you mentioned infrastructure, and actually the next episode, excuse me, of Business Connections will be delving into that topic a bit more, infrastructure in the region and statewide. And that's been a big topic, I think, that's been ramping up over the last few months. Infrastructure is frankly crumbling in some areas. We haven't had a big investment in statewide or nationwide in our infrastructure and our roads and our bridges. And so I think lawmakers are looking at that topic quite seriously. You mentioned gas tax. That's, you know, something that could become a possibility, to raise that, to raise some money to improve our infrastructure. And I think it involves all of us as drivers, but we don't think about industries like yours where this is your livelihood, to be able to have those roads that are well built to do your job. How important is that to you?
Well, absolutely. Every construction zone is you know, important for us, that a driver is going to have a better road to drive on. He is out there every day as a professional driver on the road, dealing with so many different obstacles, unprofessional drivers, hazards on the road, things of those lines. So, you know, with 200 drivers on the roads, I hear it quite often, oh, I can't believe this road is like that, or I can't believe that this bridge is falling apart like this, or a driver that can't cross under a bridge because it's not the correct height. So those are some of those things that we have to reroute drivers, and that creates inefficiencies for us. So we would look forward to some improvements in the infrastructure in the area.
Just out of curiosity, where is your delivery area? Do you stay in the region? Do you stay in the Dayton area?
So we would say the Midwest region. So within about 300 to 400 miles of this area is what Rush is specifically servicing.
So you're looking beyond just the Dayton region. You have to.
We sure are, but obviously with this being our home base, we are definitely focusing on this area, but the whole region, this Midwest region for us, is definitely important.
Okay. That's interesting to know. You have
and how I hear that, Holly, is, you know, time is money. That's what I hear in the end, and obviously we want to keep as much money in their pockets as possible and not sending it elsewhere. If they're sitting in construction, that's costing them time. So that's what I hear in those needs of cutting the time and moving things quicker.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Inefficiency is not the word you want to have when you're talking business. No. So how will, we talked a little bit about the public policy and the fact that there are lobbyists on staff with the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. So Dayton Area Logistics Association, how do you see getting involved in the future on some of these issues as the organization continues to grow?
Right. As I said, we've got staff in Columbus and DC, Columbus weekly, DC monthly, you know, pushing the government to get us what we need to be able to meet all of that. We're looking to bring down cost of doing business for all of our companies. That's a main goal of what we have and what they're out there pushing for. In the bottom line, what they're pushing for. You know, every direction is going to be different. Every week's going to possibly be a different topic, but in the end, bottom line is we're trying to keep costs down for our businesses.
Okay. And we've talked so much about the organization. I'm sure people who are watching, they're wondering, if you're in the logistics industry, rather, how do you get involved in the Dayton Area Logistics Association?
Right. We currently have about 80 companies that are involved in the association, which since starting in January things are moving pretty quickly, which is great to see. By the end of the year, we're hoping to have about 150 actively enrolled. The main thing is it's a program of the Chamber. So you need to be a member of the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce to be able to participate in the association, be educated on all those needs, everything out there, and be able to attend our events. We're planning on holding 5 events a year is what we're kind of looking at right now, 1 a quarter, and then hosting an annual meeting as well. So if there is a logistics company out there that's not currently a member, we want them to contact the Chamber and get in touch with one of our sales representatives, and we can get them started right away and start getting them educated, finding out what their needs are, and seeing how we can work to get those things taken care of.
You mentioned the 5 events a year. That's the goal since you're just starting. Talk about what those events are like and what will be kind of the flow of the year for the organization.
Yeah. We're looking to probably do one once a quarter. We're also going to look at probably doing an annual meeting in a sense, maybe a little bit of a conference, doing some breakout sessions to meet the needs of maybe some education that our steering committee sees fitting for other companies in the area. And then whatever is a hot topic at the time is kind of what we'll look for. It's not going to be an event, or it's not going to be a year where we've planned out every event, because if something comes up that is pressing and we want to have an event to be able to let all of these logistics companies know, then we want to have that opportunity to bring them in when we see fit, not have everything completely scheduled. So once a quarter is what we're looking at right now. As we grow and see fitting, then we'll kind of go from there and see it fit.
It's probably the best setup too, because you can stay timely as issues come up that might affect the industry.
Right.
Okay. Did you want to add something, Ashley?
No, we're bringing in some great speakers for our first several events that can really add value to the organization. We're not going to fill it with fluff. We want to bring in people that are going to really help educate our members and that are advocating for them.
That is something that's going to be important, and getting all these industries together as we see so much growth. You have the I-70, I-75 coming together just north of town, the Dayton Airport. CSX rail line is up there, and so this is why this has been such a hot topic for the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce, just to kind of recap why DALA was formed. So if you're interested, as Amanda mentioned, contact the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. There are a couple of websites you can check out. DaytonLogistics.com will have some information on the Dayton Area Logistics Association. DaytonChamber.org, of course, is somewhere to go, not only to get information, but to contact the Chamber if you're interested, get some more information on how to join, and to see that calendar of events. Amanda was talking about 5 events every year, including annual meetings. This is something, if you're in the logistics industry and distribution, you want to jump on, because it's just being formed this year. So check out those websites and check out the Chamber anytime on social media. We are on Twitter. This show will be on YouTube and Facebook. We are always there for you, trying to help businesses in the Dayton region. That's 9 counties in the Dayton region. So thank you so much for joining us on Business Connections. Have a great one.
Because our region is home to both manufacturing and the crossroads of America, where I-70 and I-75 intersect, we are also home to the important industry of logistics. Logistics and supply chain management is a growing industry for the Miami Valley because we have key surface, rail, and air transport opportunities. A recent nationally recognized consultant placed the Dayton region at or near the epicenter of warehousing, distribution, and shipping to destinations all over the Midwest, East, Southeast, Northeast, and Plain States areas. We have a clear competitive advantage in location and cost. Our most recent warehousing additions of Wynn Wholesale, Caterpillar, Payless Shoe Source, White Castle, and others are now augmented by Procter & Gamble's new distribution location near our airport in Union. But let's not forget the logistical jobs held by local transport companies like Jet Express, Rush Transport Logistics, and Apex Express. And we should also understand that of the 2,300 manufacturing companies in our region, each and every one of them have 2 or 10 or more jobs related to materials management and shipping of their completed products. One of our region's newest initiatives is the establishment of the Dayton Area Logistics Association as a key advocate for this industry and its needs of workforce, job training, infrastructure, and governmental policies that will affect their success. This new association is part of the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce's support of those needs of these area businesses. One of the next important tasks of this business association is to complete an economic impact study that will focus on the significance of this industry and how it relates to growing jobs and support of our manufacturing and distribution sector's strategic importance. We hope that you've enjoyed today's program and how we as a community are working hard to continue to grow this industry. These are new jobs, jobs that will continue to grow our local economy.